Hey guys, this is Jackie from Jack Gets Lost Down a Book Hole, and I don't know why I keep doing that. I should just stick to the ones where I'm just improvise and don't really try to do an introduction, because I always get tongue-tied when I try to say my name and the name of my BookTube account. So this is my last video for the day because, like I said, I just wanted to make some more videos. Like at least 3 videos, but I might either Saturday evening or Sunday, or Saturday afternoon or Sunday, I might just go ahead and make one more video, like maybe a book haul or something before Tuesday. Although our company, the first people that will come, I don't think they'll come until Tuesday night, because they still both gotta work. It's my sister and her husband and their boys, and I think they both still have to work. I mean, they might leave work early, I don't know. Which, by the way, I just realized that I am off on Thanksgiving, thankfully. Unless they call me in or something, because they could. Thankfully. But either way, as of right now, I am off on Thanksgiving Day, thankfully. Which is totally awesome. So, I mean, the store Harris Teeter will be closed by 2 on Thanksgiving Day, but it's kind of nice that I don't have to go in at all, because it could potentially be really busy. Anyway, I've decided, oh my god, it's already 1 and something. Okay, well, let me stop rambling here. Okay, so I decided to do a book tag, just to get one more video in, and like I said, I might make a book haul, because unfortunately, I have a problem. I'm addicted to buying books, and our used bookstore, as I said before, has really great prices. So I bought some more books, especially during when my parents were gone. They were gone last weekend to visit my sister and had me watch the dogs, because it costs money to put them in the kennel. So they had me stay home and watch the dogs. And besides, the day that they wanted to leave, I was working, so I had to stay home. And I was able to walk because that bookstore is in walking distance. I have a problem. So, I might do a book haul before everybody comes, maybe sometime this weekend or on Monday, but I might not, so don't necessarily expect me to do one before the Thanksgiving break. So, okay. I gotta read one of my tomes today. So I think it officially started today at midnight. Midnight as in beginning of today. Okay. So I'm doing the Bibliophile tag. As usual, I don't know who created this tag, so I will look that up and I will put the link to that person's video in the description box below. Okay. So let's see if I can do this in quick time. Question number 1. What genres do you stay away from? Erotica, war books, romance, and science fiction. Now, with the exception of erotica, some of these, I have made exceptions. Like with the war book, I did read Red Badge of Courage, and sometimes you have to read war books. All Quiet on the Western Front! All Quiet on the Western Front! Sorry, but that was the book I was trying to think of yesterday when I was talking to my friend. We were talking about this, and I was talking to her about what I don't like to read, and I could not think of what that book was called. But of course, now I think of it, so I'll have to, before I go for my run, I'll have to let her know. I'll have to do it before I forget again. Like, I read Red Badge of Courage because I felt like I should at least check it out. And I read political drama, I read about, I've been getting kind of into the American Revolution and the French Revolution, and some people could say that is reading a war book. But there are also books that aren't, not necessarily about, they're about the war, but about the personal stories in the war, not, but then again, I also do not like, you could say that about the Things We Carried, and I do not like that book. I thought that book was kind of boring. I'm not dismissing or anything, it's just my personal preference was not that book. In romance, I just don't like it being the main point of the story. I guess I won't read the genre. But I did read Nicholas Sparks at one time. And I read like classic romance, like On with the Wind and Jane Austen and stuff. Although the only 2 novels of Jane Austen that I've read so far, I mean, I liked Pride and Prejudice, but they still kind of, it still was not my favorite. But I really, erotica, I did try one erotic. I did try some erotica, and I couldn't do it. I just was so pissed off about the book, and that was Anne Rice's Sleeping Beauty trilogy, and the first book being The Claiming of Sleeping Beauty, and that book just pissed me off. I couldn't do it. Science fiction, that's debatable, because if it's science fiction that I can understand and doesn't focus too much on the science and explaining it, then I could get into it. Like Jurassic Park is debating. Like, I mean, stuff by Michael Crichton it's debatable if I could get into Michael Crichton. I've only read 2 of his books, Jurassic Park and The Time Machine. So I might have gotten rid of that one. Yeah, that might have been one of the books that I gave away to the bookshop. Because they will take donated books. Okay, before I ramble anymore, question number 2. What books on your bookshelf are you ashamed to admit you haven't read? Okay, let me get those. This is why I think this is actually really good. The rainbow shelf, this is why the rainbow shelf was actually really appealing. Where are they? Where are those books? Maybe they're, are they written? I do not know where they are. Oh wait, here's 2 of them. Okay, well, I'll just go ahead and get this one because I already see it. I don't know where the other one is, where the first one is, but okay, so I have here The Count of Monte Cristo. Look at this sucker. It is huge. But I keep getting told how great it is. But I've also, heard some people complain about it and say it's kind of boring at times. And they don't like the character Edmond Dantes. But I definitely want to read it because I really enjoyed the movie. But I feel bad that I haven't got around to it. But my biggest guilty feelings are reserved for this trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This is the second one. I still have not read it. I mean, I keep telling my friend Kathy that I've told her before that I just can't get into the writing, but I do still want to read it because I still feel like if I'm a fantasy reader, I feel like I should still read it. Because it's like Tolkien is the grandfather of fantasy. Although I really hate when people like leave comments where you're like, oh my god, if you haven't read this book, you are not a fantasy fan. It's like, yes, this may have been like the first fantasy ever, and Tolkien may be considered the grandfather of fantasy, but that just because you have not read it does not mean. I mean, I have always had an issue with people who read this book and they make you feel, even though they don't like deliberately or directly do it, you still feel guilty. And I hate when they, say things that kind of make you feel feel bad that you haven't read it and feel like, how dare you not have read it? How dare you not love this book? And how dare you, it's like, seriously? So you're gonna make people feel bad just because they haven't read your precious Lord of the Rings yet. I would like to be able to read it someday, but I don't feel rushed to do it. But I still feel a little guilty. So I definitely have mixed feelings about that. Okay, so next question number 3. What is your worst bookish habit? And I kind of mentioned this earlier when I first started this video, but that is always buying books, always buying new books when I have a whole bunch of other books that I have not read on my shelf that I've had for a long time. That is my worst bookish habit. I mean, my dad even told me, he feels like, he told me just because you go to a bookstore does not mean you have to buy books. So now for the last couple days, even though it's a beautiful day, and it would be a good day to go take a walk into the village, I won't go there because I cannot bring myself to go to that bookstore without buying books unless I sit outside where the little tables are, the tables outside. But of course, sometimes, people might, they might be there, sitting out there, so there might not be room, and I might have to go inside, and then I'll be tempted to buy a book. Especially, there are a couple books there that I've been wanting to buy, but I've been hesitant to buy them, and then I worry that they're not going to be there anymore if I go there. So, I feel like, because I am interested in them, I feel like I should buy them now before they disappear, because it's a used bookstore, so that tends to happen. It's not like they have an abundance of the same book. They might have two, but, that's it. Okay, so, the next question number 4. Have you read every book you received for a review? I don't get those. Although recently, when I first started, now that I've started making these, there is one person recently that did ask me to review something for them, which I'm very nervous about, and I feel guilty because I still haven't got around to really looking at it again since the first time he asked. I did open it on here, so to look at it maybe tonight, but it's like a website, and he also has a book too, I believe. So that would be the first time. So, I mean, I have not gotten anyone to ask me to review their books yet. So that's kind of the first one. So I don't have an answer for this one. Number 5. What is the most expensive book on your shelf? Okay, because I don't want this video too long, I'm not going to even get up. But I would probably say those books at Barnes & Noble, the hardback ones that look like old-fashioned books with the very pretty covers that are dark, and something like the more feminine books, like Alice in Wonderland type books, are like have flowers on them and stuff, and sometimes some of them have a ribbon in them. Those really pretty books are like $20. There's a whole bunch of them. They put the classics in that format. They put a lot of the classics in that format. That's probably the most expensive. I mean, I don't know, maybe not, but I don't really know. And the books that are probably more expensive, I probably just save to ask for Christmas or my birthday. Okay, number 6. Do you buy secondhand editions? Well, I kind of already answered that question because the bookshop that's closest to me that is a walking distance of me is, it's an used bookstore. So all the books there are secondhand. And so now I'm buying secondhand books all the time now. Most of my books, a handful of my books here are now secondhand. And some of them you can tell because the edges aren't perfectly neat and the spines are broken already. Some pages are a little folded. So some of these you can tell they're secondhand. So yeah, basically the answer to the question is yes. Question number 7. What is your favorite bookstore? Barnes & Noble. Hands down. I love Barnes & Noble. I love the setup. I love the smell. I love the coloring. It feels more homey and cozy feeling in Barnes & Noble than with Books A Million. Borders was the best, but Borders is no longer in business, so now Barnes & Noble is my next choice. So I guess I shouldn't technically say Borders, but like I said, it's no longer in business, so I count Barnes & Noble. What is my favorite online bookstore? I don't shop for books online, except for Amazon, but usually my mom is the one that does the purchasing because she doesn't want me to put my credit card online. because I'm okay, question number 9. Do you have a budget? Well, now that, I try to be a little careful and not get hardback books with the dust covers. Or if I buy one of them, that's the only one. I only buy one book that day. But now that I have a job and money coming in regularly, now I'm a little more cautious. Now I'm a little more willing to, buy books, buy more than one book, more than 2 books. So I try to examine a budget. I'm not getting books that are like $20, but it does not go well usually. So I try to budget myself, but I was never very good at the concept of money. Oh, well, I guess that's the last one. I imagine there was a 10th question, but it was probably like tagging people, and I don't like to tag people because I don't know who's done this tag. I'm not close with any of, there are a few booktubers that I've interacted with in the comment section, but I feel like because I'm still new, I haven't really gotten close with any booktubers. I don't have to feel comfortable to tag people. So that's why when I do these now, since I've joined BookTube, when I do these, I don't tag people. So, but if you watch my video and you want to do it, go for it. And like I said, I will find the original creator of this particular account, of this particular tag, and I will post the link. All right, see you later.